waking up early on a Saturday. I don't know about what the elves think. I just feel like that wasn't very enthusiastic. It's a Christmas, it's not good. They say no, they say no. So can we have this side say jingle? Jingle. And this side say bells? Bells! Jingle bells! Jingle bells! Jingle bells! All together! Jingle bells! That was okay. I think we're gonna have to wake up a bit. We're gonna have to get our sweets in a little bit. Thank you guys all so much for coming out here for UEA's Christmas Lectures for Children. It's definitely our highlight of the Christmas season and the year possibly, so we're very excited to have you here. Just some very important stuff. There's no fire alarm planned today, so if you do hear one, the exits are behind here, and the way you came in. So if you do hear an alarm, it's time to go. We've got 2 talks today, so we're going to have one now. We're going to have a lovely interval where we get some treats and some other surprises, and then we're going to come back and have another exciting talk. Everything's going to be filmed today on the stage, so if you don't want to be filmed or photographed, don't volunteer to come on stage if that's all right. Otherwise, we will do our best to keep you off of any type of recording device. And a really, really, really important thing is getting feedback. So we're at a university, we all need to learn, even if we're not students here. So what's really helpful to us is whoever booked tickets for you, you'll get sent a little email with a little very, 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 very short survey to ask you a few questions about how you learned about the event today and some other important things. And it'd be so helpful to us if you could just very quickly fill that out, because we are continuing to learn. We always need to learn about what works, what doesn't work, what we can do better, and how we can better serve our community. So if you can please do us a big favor and try and give that little email a click through, that would be very helpful. And that's really it. That's all the boring stuff. So now it's on to a really fun world. So I don't know if you know how to wrap a Christmas present. Some of us do. We had a struggle wrapping that one on the team. That's a pretty big one. But does anyone here know how to wrap a mummy? I'm not talking about your mother. Okay, we're talking about ancient Egypt. So we're going to go on a little journey there now. So can everyone please give me a very, 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 very enthusiastic, jingly belly welcome to Dr. Kim Ridealgh.
Thank you, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, the teachers in the room, I'm sure you'll sympathise. I've got end-of-termitis, and my voice is a little bit crackly today. But do let me know if you can't hear me. I'll try my best. I've got my supplies down here. So, in front of you, you have a sheet of paper. Anybody not got a sheet of paper? No? Great. The elves have been busy. They've made sure everybody's got paper. So, as I do my talk, we're going to be playing ancient Egyptian bingo. Okay? So you need to listen carefully to the words I'm saying and tick them off on the sheet when I say them. And then stick your hand up and shout bingo. Whenever it happens, no problem. Doesn't matter if you interrupt me, don't worry. Winners will get prizes, okay? And we've got lots of elves to help us as well. So keep an eye on the bingo. So, just as you're thinking maybe to go away for Christmas, maybe you're going to stay with family, maybe you're going on a lovely holiday, and you're thinking, right, what am I going to be packing in my suitcase? You pack things like, what, your toothbrush, pajamas, clothes, these types of things. Well, for the ancient Egyptians, it was the same when they packed their tombs for the afterlife. You had to make sure everything was in the tomb ready to go, so that you had it when you got to the afterlife, because you would spend forever in this beautiful place, but you needed your things. So today, we're going to find out a bit more about what the ancient Egyptians packed in their suitcase. And we're going to have a look at one particular king. Now, do you want to hear a joke? Yeah. All right. Knock, knock. Who's there? Toot. Toot. Toot and come in. Right. So, we're going to look at the king Tutankhamun, who ruled over 3,000 years ago, right? So he's very dead right now. He was probably a similar age to many of you. He was 9 years old when he became king, and he was about 18 when he died. And we'll talk a bit about how he died in the talk as well. And up here, hopefully you can see it, every ancient Egyptian king had 5 special names, but only 2 went into these things here. Anybody know what they're called? Yeah. Cartouche. Well done, exactly. So this tells us the king's name. Now, here, this is a ta, wa, ta, ankh, and then up above we've got So we've got Tut Ankh Imun here. This is his name. We know what his name is. And his name is sort of written backwards because Imun, up here, is the name of the god. Very special god who was one of the most powerful gods in Egypt. And because he's the god, his name gets to go first. So when you're reading hieroglyphics, you've got to sort of work out what order they're going in and what, if it's a name. So here we've got a reconstruction of Tutankhamun as well, so we can kind of see what his face would have looked like. And I'm sure many of you will know his very famous funerary mask, okay? That was on top. Well, his body was slid into it to protect the head once it was mummified. Now, the tomb of Tutankhamun was found in this location up here. Anybody know where it was found? Oh, hand at the back. Valley of the Kings, brilliant. It's a really desolate place in the Egyptian desert. And, there's not much there. You wouldn't want to live there. There's no lands or anything. And this is the tomb that they built. It's not a very big tomb. Nobody expected Tutankhamun to die so young. They hadn't started to build a tomb for him. It's a bit of a glorified cupboard, and it's not very well decorated. But they managed to cram it full of lots of different things, so we can learn lots about the ancient Egyptian afterlife. Now, down here, just above the Christmas trees, is the man who discovered the tomb. Anybody know his name? Yeah? Good job, yeah, Howard Carter. So Howard Carter was an archaeologist. He'd gone to Egypt in 1922, and he was convinced there was a tomb there. However, he wasn't allowed to open it until 1923, so 100 years ago. So we had to wait a little bit of time. But what is unique about the tomb of Tutankhamun is that it was intact. And this is special because most of the tombs of the kings who had lived very long and had very big tombs had been robbed over the past 500-600 years. And so there's nothing left in those tombs and they're quite damaged. But this is why Tutankhamun's tomb became so famous, was because actually things are inside. We can learn things, which is very exciting. Oh, my slides are out of order, sorry. Now, this is one of the original photos of Howard Carter going into the tomb for the first time. The reason he had to wait to 1923 was because of this man here. Anybody know who this man is? Could be? Yep. It's on the slide, I know, but... No? At the back, just behind? Lord Carnarvon, exactly. Lord Carnarvon wasn't an archaeologist, but he was a very rich man who paid for the work, okay? So you had to wait for your benefactor, the person who was paying for it, to come and have a look. And that's partly because, communication in 1922, 1923 was slow, had to do it by telegram. It's also because they had to do some negotiation with the Egyptian authorities to see who kept what, these types of things. So when Howard Carter was able to finally get inside the tomb, he was the first person to look inside, and he said these very famous words. He was asked, "What do you see?" And he said, "Wondrous things." i.e. he shined in a light and saw lots of reflections of gold, okay? So exciting things. And this is the outside of the tomb of Tutankhamun, and it became a bit of a spectacular place for tourists to visit. So you've got tourists all around here watching the excavations take place. Howard Carter and his team were living in the tombs nearby. They weren't just living in the tents like you can see up here, but they were living in the tombs that had already been robbed and came from a much later period. But it's fascinating to see how they were working at this time. And when they were finally able to get in, you know, they were taking pictures of rooms that seemed very, very crowded. It's very cluttered, right? Everything's just chucked in, essentially. But what sort of things can you see in this picture, do you think? Yeah? Cats? Well, certainly this is a type of cat. It probably is a leopard or something like this. You know, what does that one look like? Yeah. Anubis is not in this image. This one is a cow, okay? We've got a cow with horns as well. And what these are beds, okay? These are beds for sleeping on, all right? We've also got boxes that were full of things like food, because you had to take food with you into the afterlife as well. You had to eat, otherwise you wouldn't stay whole and intact. We've got, so here, down here is where you'd find the kind of dried bread that would go with them into the afterlife. And then boxes containing very valuable material. What can you see in this image? Yeah, the chariots, wonderful. So Tutankhamun's favourite hobby was chariot racing. Okay, so we've got 6 chariots here that are deconstructed, ready to put together in the afterlife. And this is how archaeologists think that Tutankhamun died. So they think he was in a chariot race crash, and he sustained injuries across his legs and his pelvis. And then from that, he got something similar to blood poisoning, and then died as a result of those injuries. And that's why he died very young, unfortunately. But you can see again, they're just shoved into the corner, you know. There's no real organisation, they're just put in. And here as well, just to give you another side of the room, here we've got 2 very special statues. These are called Ka statues. Now, the ancient Egyptians believed that your soul was separated into 5 different parts, and one was called the Ka. And this was the part of your soul that could go into statues and then become alive again. So you visit things like friends and family, these type of things. You've got dried leaves, you've got reeds, all this kind of stuff that you would need in the afterlife. And inside the boxes, you've got some really interesting items. You've got clothes. This is the remains of a sandal, for example. Obviously, golden chariots as well. Thrones, statues of the gods. This is the goddess Sekhmet, who's the goddess of war. She would lap up the blood of her enemies. And then you've got these really interesting items. This is called a shapti. Anybody heard that word before, shapti? Yeah, do you know what a shapti does? Exactly, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So these are the servants for the afterlife. And if you were a wealthy nobleman, you might have 365 shaptis in your tomb. What's special, do you think, about the number 365? How many days there are in the year, exactly. So you'd have 1 servant for every day. But if you're a king like Tutankhamun, you've got thousands because you can't do anything yourself, right? But of course, we had lots of clothes, things like this. And of course, we had pants, underwear. Not this type of underwear. This is what you can buy with Tutankhamun's face on it. But underwear that looked like this. And he had 145 pairs of pants in his tomb. And here he is, a reconstruction of him wearing them. So, on stage, I've got some pants. Anybody brave enough to try a pair of ancient Egyptian pants? Our elves are going to pop your hand up and an elf will come and get you. We need 3 volunteers, please.
Right, come around this way.
Excellent, come and stand here with me. Well done. We'll wait for the rest to come and then we'll have a look at how we're going to make this work. All right, come on up. Okay, so, you ready to try on some pants? Yeah, like Tutankhamun. So these go behind, and you hold it here. It doesn't fit me, see? And then through your legs, okay? You want to give that a go? Right, so around your waist, and then can you reach through your legs and get this little tail? There you go. And then we'll tie them up together. Yeah, so from the back. Now, if you were under the age of 11 in ancient Egypt, you wouldn't have worn any clothes at all. All right? You would have been naked all day long. But once you got to puberty, you got to have pants and some clothes, right? To tuck you in. There you go. Excellent. Okay. Oops. There we go. Put that back in. There you go. Look at those. So ancient Egyptian pants, right? Do you fancy wearing those today? I'm sure they're very comfortable in the heat of Egyptian sun. Egypt can get up to 50 degrees. It can be very, very hot indeed. Right, I think they need a massive round of applause for being so brave. Well done, guys. Right, Jenny, I'll help you with the next. Being our models. There you go. Well done. I'm sure there's some chocolate for you as well. Great, thank you. So up here you can see as well a picture of Tutankhamun reconstructed, and you'll notice he's actually got quite a few disabilities as well. So he's got something down here with his foot called a club foot, and he's got a few things going on with his jawline and his back as well. And so this would have made life quite difficult for Tutankhamun, really. But it also meant he was a pretty ineffective king, being so young when he came to the throne, and then obviously dying very tragically indeed. But he still got 145 odd pair of pants in his tomb. And hopefully they were clean when they went in, right? So, just as you need to pack your tomb with everything you need for the afterlife, so your clothes, pants, beds, all your favourite things like chariots, so you can keep doing your favourite sports, you also need to think about your body and how you preserve your body. Now, this is the only room that was decorated in the tomb of Tutankhamun, and this is where the body was placed inside its sarcophagus to protect it. You can see here, this is the priest up here doing the ceremonies to bring Tutankhamun to life in the afterlife. This is Tutankhamun, and then we have a range of gods and goddesses behind. So, can I please ask for an adult volunteer who would like to come on stage and join us? We need a brave adult. Elves, do you want to go and find a brave adult? It's the best seat in the house. You get to just lie there. Thank you so much. What's your name? Natalia. Thank you. Oh, there should be a little pillow for you there, and hopefully you can lie on the table. Best place, honestly. And you're okay with kids wrapping your arms around me. Yes, perfect. Thank you. So we've got Natalia. I think Natalia needs a big clap for doing that. Thank you, Natalia. Can you just quickly hide a few props? Right. Yeah, you can probably put that on Natalia, and then, yeah, we can go from there. I think it goes this way. I'll just tuck that window and then we'll go from there. Okay. Right, so mummification takes a very long time. It would have happened outside because the body is decomposing. It will stink in the Egyptian heat. So, you know, we'd be in a tent, the wind blowing through to take away all those terrible smells. And we've just received Natalia here to begin the mummification. So, I need some priests to help me, please. Anybody want to be a priest? My elves, do you mind going to find... four. Yeah, thank you. Our props ready. Right, Amelia, come over here, darling. Right.
Right, we have one.
Okay, so we've got two of you. So come and stand here. We'll get you all set up. There's all different jobs for you to do. We've got one more. Great.
There we go. Do we need one more?
Brilliant, thank you. We've got our volunteers. Thank you so much. You want to go stand there? So the first thing we do is we rub incense oil into the skin to make it smell better. And then we start thinking, right, how can we take all the moisture out the body to preserve it? So we've got to think first, what's inside the body, right? So we're going to take the eyes, we're going to pop them out. And then we're going to replace them with, if we're very rich, like Tutankhamun, gold eyes. But if you're not so rich, maybe glass or some special stones. And then we've got to think, right, what is left in the head that's got to be removed? What's left? Popped out the eyes, they're pure water. What's left? Brain, exactly. Now, do not do this at home. This only is allowed on 3,000-year-old mummies, okay? Now, if you feel the top of your nose, there's a piece of cartilage there that separates your nose from your brain. And we've got to break it to get the brain out. So poor Natalia didn't know what she was going to get herself into. Right, so you ready? We're going to pop through. Pretend though, magic of TV, right? Big push. So big push, because it's quite hard, quite firm. Oh, really good. Now we get in there. We start to see what we can pull out. Pour in a bit of palm oil to try and break it up a little bit. Now, give it a good pull. Pull, pull, pull. As far as your arm can reach. That's it. Hooray! Good job. Now, the ancient Egyptians had no idea what the brain did. It was just simply chucked away. And there'd be lots of stray cats and dogs around the mummification tent, and that would be a tasty breakfast for them. Yeah, no doubt. Tasty brains. So then the brain, to protect the face, because we need the face whole, is stuffed full of bandages and stored sawdust and dried mud, just so it doesn't cave in on itself, because now there's nothing to hold it up. And then we start to make an incision across the belly, and we start to see what we get inside. So thank you very much. You can hold that for me. That would be super helpful. No, you stay there. Stay with us. Got more for you to do. Now, a lot of these organs look at the same. So let's have a think. So we've made an incision across her belly, and have a reach in, and let's see what we get. And we'll just go with the flow. Right. Ooh, give that a tug. And what do you think that looks like? What could that be? Get you. I'm going to say that is the... Here. Let's go with that one. Can you hold the sign? The liver. Okay. I'm just going to change to a different slide because we need the slide to help. So now, there are key organs in the body that are then dried, bandaged, and put into a special canopic jar. Okay? The canopic jars are protected by 4 gods, who are known collectively as the sons of Horus. And the liver is placed into Imseti. Right?
We got bingos.
Oh, we got some bingos, excellent. Well done. Thanks for putting that out. Right, if you get bingo, let one of the elves know, they'll bring you some chocolate.
We'll do the chocolate at the end.
Perfect, great. So, what type of head does Imseti have?
Bingo.
Yeah. No, keep going. Keep it online. Great. The elves will sort them out, don't worry. Imseti has the head of a human. Well done, exactly. So the liver is protected by Imseti. Right. Do you want to have a go and pick out an organ? Which organ? Not sure what the organ is. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, we've lost one. Thank you. Okay, I think that one is the stomach. Right, if you hold up that sign, sorry, I'm just going to, can you pop that back on, Natalia? Great, perfect. Okay, so the stomach then is dried and bandaged and goes into Duamutef. What head has Duamutef got? Anybody know? Yeah? Not a cat, no? Do you know? I can't. Down here in the gap tops, the grey gap tops. Yeah. Yeah, type of dog. Here. You wanted? No, dog? Not quite a dog, a bit dog-like. Do you think? No, okay. Jackal, good job. So it's the head of a jackal, right? Which is a bit like a dog, but they're native to Egypt. So the stomach goes there. Right, which one are you going to pull out? Next one.
I'm going to do this in real life.
Don't worry. So here, let's go. Go for this one? Pull that one. See. Yeah, or coroner. Right. Right. Oh no, it's attached. What's it attached to? Oh gosh. There we go. Sorry, Natalia. Okay, so we've got intestines. So they're dried and they're put into Kadebenseth. Kadebenseth has the head of a at the back. Sorry? A bird. Anybody know which type of bird? Not an eagle. Red top. Close to a falcon. Yeah? Oh, very good, but no. No. Hawk, good job. He's got the head of a hawk. Really good job. So he's protected there. Right, do you want to do the last? We need these two here. Can you pull these off? I'll take the crochet hook. There's no more damage to Natalia. Right. Yeah, there we go. Now, you take those. So next, and can you hold up the sign as well? People can see what it is. So finally then we take out the lungs. And the lungs go into happy. Now here's a hard one. Anybody guess what happy is? No. Sort of, yeah, he's a monkey, but what type of monkey? Oh, I can't hear. Loud voice? No? Anybody else know? Yeah? Baboon, excellent. He's happy, the baboon. Okay? And together then, we've got the lungs in happy, the stomach can do a mood test, the Nebenseth has the intestines, and Imseti has the liver. We know there's other stuff in there, but again, the Egyptians weren't too worried about that. That goes to those cats and dogs that were waiting outside. Except for one more organ. Anybody know what we need to preserve? Yeah? Heart, good job. Exactly. So, heart. I think that is the liver. I'm going to guess that this one is the heart here, the bigger one. Yeah, so we take the heart out, we preserve it, we take all the moisture out, and then we put it back inside the body. So that goes back inside the body, the heart. Anybody know why it goes back inside the body? Yeah? Oh, sorry. Loud voice for me. Perfect. Yeah, the Egyptians thought your heart controlled your memories, your emotions, moving of your body. And so your heart is going to be judged in the afterlife. So it has to be part of the body, it has to be intact. Now, at this point, your tummy has nothing in it. It's very concave. So you have to stuff it again with bandages and sawdust, anything to get a nice big round belly. The rounder your belly in ancient Egypt, the better fed you were, so the more wealthy you were. So it's very important. Then we have to look at, okay, is Natalia missing any toes? Is she missing a nose, right? So we've got examples from ancient Egypt of if you were missing a toe, you'd have a wooden one added with a magical spell that would bring it to life when you get there. And we've had it also with noses, okay? People who are missing noses in life are given a wooden or a gold nose, and that is what they will have as a nose in the afterlife, okay? The body must be intact. That is vital to get into the afterlife. So, now that we've prepared it, we cover the body with natron salt for up to 70 days. And this is a special salt that comes from Egypt. And then, once the body's got no more liquid in it, that's when we start doing the wrapping. So, team, if you give to the elves all your bits, we are going to grab some bandages to start the wrapping process. So, if you come under here, you will find here. Right, so I think everybody grab an arm or a leg for Natalia. gently, and then start wrapping, okay? Felix, hi. One more. Elves, would you like to do some wrapping as well? Yeah? Pick an arm or a leg, I think. So turn it this way and then wrap it round. So if Natalia kindly lifts her leg, even though she's meant to be dead, and then we can do that, okay? Can you do that? I think. Hold up a leg. And then give it a go. Off you go, you can do that. Oh, we've got some head wrapping going on as well. Yeah, everything gets wrapped, absolutely. And then we'll just cover so it makes it look... Great job, guys. You're doing brilliant. Looks really good. Yeah, really good. Here, we can use the pants as when we're wrapping. Yeah. Don't forget the pants. Oh dear, what's going on? Right.
This is false, like.
Yeah.
Oh, this is definitely false.
Horrible histories, yeah. That's what we want.
Are you enjoying it?
Okay, brilliant. I think Natalia's looking well wrapped, isn't she, everybody? Good job. Excellent, right. Well done, everybody.
Finishing touches.
Yes. So this is then the point when the priests start to perform the magical spells. So they'll add amulets. We've got amulets on the... Excellent. Good job. We've got some more bingo. Yeah. Good. Well done, everybody.
You get your prize at the end, alright?
So we've got an eye of Horus to keep away bad spirits. We've got a little scarab beetle, which is linked with the god Ra for life, for example. And then we start to do our spells to bring back all the senses for them in the afterlife. So they'd use a special tool to touch the nose, ears, eyes, and mouth 5 times. All right, so that they could eat, smell, see, and hear in the afterlife. Very important. And then the body can go into its sarcophagus because it's still quite fragile right now. It needs to go into a sarcophagus. A funerary mask is added for decoration, and then the body is protected in as many layers as possible. Yeah. And this is, of course, how Howard Carter found Tutankhamun. So, thank you. And I'd like to say a big thank you as well to all the helpers. Can we give them a big round of applause? Thank you. Great. Do you guys want to sit down? And please, a massive thank you for Natalia for being...